Come on down and chum some of this shit.
This shark, swallow you whole.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies.
Listen to the Matt and Mark Movie Show.
Hey, just when you thought it was safe to listen to the Matt and Mark Movie Show, here comes JAWS Knockoffs June. We're back. And Mark is back. Mark back in the water with us this week. He's here. More elusive than Bruce the Shark or the Orca the Whale himself. Mark is here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, buddy.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be back.
It's god dang good to be back. You know what would have been the ultimate
Don't mind
poll?
my horrific background.
What would have been the ultimate poll would have been for Jeff to have a voicemail for you this week. But he did not do that shit. He did not do that. Jeff was very upset that you were not here last time. He was like, what the fuck is this?
I hate that guy.
I was like, okay, welcome to the Free Willy show. We'll have a good time. No, it was.
I actually have notes on Free Willy, though.
Okay, that's cool. That's old news. You could throw those in the garbage. You could keep those for yourself if you like. You could keep them for yourself if you like, or share them with a friend somewhere. It's all good. You can... This week, though, we are celebrating. This is the official start of JAWS Knockoffs June. It's the beginning of June. No more pre-game bullshit. No more bonus bullshit. This is the real themed month. And we're here with our first movie. That movie is Orca from 1977. Sometimes it's called Orca the Killer Whale. But I have only seen it online addressed as Orca. But if you look at the poster, like the fucking cover of my 4K says Orca the Killer Whale, as if it's the title.
Is that for dummies that don't know what an orca is?
It is for dummies. It is. I think it's that. You know what it is? Because this movie's very Italian. It's like Dino De Laurentiis presente, directed by Vincenzo Natalis. It's like they took the poster language and then in translation, I think somebody was like, "That must be the full title. Let's slap that whole fucking title onto the front of this movie." And it actually is a great title either way. Either way, so we're going to be talking about. The
title is Killer Whale, Killer Whale.
Killer Whale, yes, the Killer Whale, the Killer Whale. So that's what we're going to be talking about, Orca from 1977. And so, Mark, I don't think you listened to last week's episode, but I'm just going to tell you, kind of like what we did with Billy Zanuary, I'm starting each of these episodes with a little trivia, okay? So, and the trivia specifically, I try to make it about the predator, because that's really what this is about. It's about the fucking animal in the movie that we're watching. Last week, we had some good Free Willy trivia. This week, there's not a lot of trivia for this movie. And the only thing I could find out, and this is kind of interesting, and it's ironic, especially if you know what the movie's about. And by the way, we're not doing spoilers and shit because this movie's like fucking 50 years old, so shame on you if you're like mad about spoilers. Is the orca in this movie, whenever there's live orca, is actually played by two different orcas, real life orcas from Japan, and their names were Yaka and Nepo, like Nepo baby, Yaka and Nepo.
Oh,
and
wow.
here's what's tragic, dude. Just like in the movie, they were actual mates. They had mated for life. So when you took one of them to make the movie, the other one had to come along, and it actually worked out for them because they got two orcas to make their movie. So like, hey, this one's being a little difficult. Let's shoot with the other one. And then tragically, of course, this movie is about a killer whale that loses its mate and goes on a fucking rampage. So I actually kind of thought that was cool and a little ironical.
Wow. Was the mate in like its own orca trailer? Like, I have my rider. I want skills.
That would be fucked up if
But
they
it's an
kept them
orca.
apart separately to agitate them. That would be fucked up. They were like, you guys want to see each other? You do
Like,
this.
here's your wife.
You do this in one shot.
Act.
Act. That's horrible. So there you go. That's the best trivia I could find for Orca. The Orca in this movie is played by two different orcas, but for the most part, it's an animatronic orca or a fake orca that looked so real. This seems like one of those bullshitty ones, but I don't
That
care.
they used it in Free Willy.
No, Mark, because the tail, the fin on the back would have been the giveaway. The fin, as we learned last week on Free Willy, is bent because he's in captivity. These orcas are free, so the fin stands straight up.
Do you think there's orca porn where they're like, I like a bent fin?
Ew, gross. Ew. So that's it. That's all we got in the way of trivia. Mark, let's talk Orca. I think you watched this movie way before me, and you have been dying to talk about it. So I just want you to fucking take it away, bro. What did you think
Oh, shit.
of this movie? And also, I think it's good too. We kind of did this last week, but like, I'm kind of comparing this, not 1-to-1, but like, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of JAWS. That's why we're doing this month. And we want to see like how well these movies hold up in relation to JAWS. So at the end of this episode, we're going to give this a rating. Whether we think it's Jawsome, not so Jawsome, kind of Jaws. How close to JAWS in terms of quality do we think this is? So I think maybe that's something good to maybe put you in the mindset, brother. Where did you land on Orca?
That sounds good. I actually thought it was going to be like a crappy B movie. By the way, it's also an interesting year because 1977 is the same year that Ridley Scott and David Lynch had their first feature films release. So it's actually like a really good year. So to coincide with that, I actually thought Orca was very well made. I thought it was going to be like a total piece of shit, but it's actually the very well thought out. Like it looks good. I saw a 4K copy. So to anyone watching anything below that, maybe your experience is different, but on 4K, it actually aged really well. And I think you kind of have to give it a break because it is 1977. Like, so it's automatically going to look dated and aged, but probably for its time, it looked awesome. I mean, if we're comparing it to Jaws, though, I do feel as though the effects may not be as good, but there are certain points where you're like, if they're cutting around certain things, and there's certain parts where it's just like, it does look like they do a close up of the orca, and it's like, hey, is that like a big aquarium?
Yeah.
But outside of that, it actually, like when it in the night shots, when it's dragging people, when it's like jettisoning its nose and like taking out boats, and it's very different. I actually was thinking it was going to be a Jaws ripoff, but to me, it's not a Jaws ripoff because it actually goes to town, you know?
Yeah,
and it's super smart because
that's why I really liked this movie, dude. Because I'm right there with you. I thought this movie was actually really fucking good. And I'm going to tell you, I think it's because it tries to do its own thing. It's not an imitator. Because it's a cool idea, right? The predator in Jaws, Bruce the shark, is like this ravenous, bloodthirsty animal. All it knows is blood, right? The killer in Orca the killer whale, is a smart, vengeful motherfucker that like this movie is more like Cape Fear than Jaws. It's about it just so happens to be about an orca that's obsessed with a guy and wants to fucking ruin his life. And that sounds ridiculous, but in the movie, it's portrayed in such a way that it fucking makes sense and it totally works. And I gotta give it to you, dude. I actually thought all the action and thrills in this looked great for 1977. Even some of the opticals, some of them are a little goofy. They stretched their budget a little bit where it's like, okay, that orca is clearly not in the same icy water that is there. They like,
are you
they
talking
superimpose
about
some
whenever
ice.
it did like a jump?
Yeah, that was funny. It would do the celebratory jump and flip. That was so hilarious, man. It would cause fucking mayhem in the town, and then it would like do these jumps and flips in the water to celebrate. Some of those
but it's
look
the
good,
ones
though.
you see at SeaWorld where they're like,
yeah, totally.
and
Where
it's
it's being
like, wait,
controlled.
it just but I thought it was cool because like you were saying, and as opposed to Bruce the shark, it's cool to see like it understands accelerants. So it's like, if I knock out the gas, I'll spill it into the water, and then the lamp over there's a fire,
Dude.
and I'll bash that house until it falls. It's pretty.
This is a movie where the whale,
like an intelligent orca.
The whale sets a fucking oil refinery on fire. Dude, and that's the other thing. I was laughing my ass off at that, but it really happens. Dude, okay, I got excited by that, and I got super excited This movie is one of those like crowd pleaser movies where it's like if it sets something up visually, they're gonna pay it off. So like set them up, knock them down. You see the oil refinery, you're like that fucking
Oh
thing,
yeah.
something's gonna happen there, and that is amazing. But then there's this amazing bit where it's like, oh, here's this little seaside house on the bluff with its like long fucking poles going into the water, and I was like, dude, if they don't knock that fucking house down, and let me tell you, this movie is not above that. It's like, no, we're knocking the fucking house down with Bo Derek in it.
And it's gonna eat her legs, so it takes
That-
out the
yes.
legs of the house and
Yes.
the character's legs.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That was the only thing I thought. All the like him attacking the houses, the fucking boats when he rams his head into the boat. That's fucking awesome. The oil refinery is ridiculous, but it's fucking awesome because like it sets this huge mushroom cloud blaze and it's like doing backflips in the water to celebrate. The only thing that I
That's
that I was like,
hilarious.
yeah, that was hilarious. I was laughing. The fucking town's burning and the whales like celebrating.
Yeah.
The only thing that I thought was a little ridiculous was each time it had, like, with Bo Derek, it kind of makes sense because the house is leaning and her legs poking out. But, like, there's one where it was like, when they actually go out at the end, when Richard Harris is like, fuck this, I'm going to go kill this whale. When you have to wait for the people to, like, go out onto the crow's nest or, like, lean out onto the stern or whatever, I don't know what the fucking ship parts are called. And then that's when the whale decides to, like, bump them. I'm like, that was really funny to me and not as effective, but it still looked great.
Did you also? But I think at that point there were parts where it's like the extra characters just decided to be stupid. They're like,
Yes.
you just saw and heard tales of this other guy getting like ripped off the boat. That other his friend that his father introduced him to was hanging on a thing and he got eaten. And then some other guy's just like, hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna hang out like that guy. And then he gets eaten.
And then he gets eaten.
So there's some really stupid character moves toward the
Yes.
end, but they're kind of expendable characters at least.
Yes. Oh,
They
dude, there's
do
one guy
something.
that's super expendable. Like, when they go out at the end, I'm like, okay, it's like Charlotte Rampling, Richard Harris, the Indian guy who I love from Poltergeist. Everybody knows him from Cuckoo's Nest. That's the guy from Poltergeist 2. When they go out, right? Randomly, there's the one guy who was sleeping with Bo Derek, but then there's like a fifth guy. I'm like, who the fuck was
A
that
young guy? Is
Zeke?
it the young guy that's just
Yes.
like a doesn't
I
he
was
feel
like-
like some random Italian guy of the
Dude,
producer? and
it
then
felt like a fucking
Put the cousin in the movie.
yeah, it felt like a red shirt from Star Trek. Like, okay, we need body count, but it can't be like the Indian guy. It can't be Charlotte Rampling. Let's just throw like a random guy on the boat. Because I was like, who the fuck is that?
I had no clue who he was.
Yeah, same.
I actually thought I missed something. I was like, wait a minute, am I dumb? And I just forgot who this guy was.
Yeah,
like,
dude, same.
There's a reason for him to be here. And then he gets killed, and I was like,
And then
oh,
he gets killed. I was
he
like,
kinda
oh, that's
just
why
pops
he's
out
there.
to get killed too.
That's totally the whole reason he's there, because he doesn't even get a name. I think somebody calls him something, and then he like pops over the side. It's just to die. That's it. That's that guy's whole deal.
He's like, hey, I'm here, and then he just gets ripped.
It's a me. Yeah, it's a me, ma. And then he gets eaten.
Who this is the guy that plays the Native American dude?
So that's Will
his
Sampson.
name?
Will Sampson. And he's the guy who, like, I think, didn't he win an Academy Award for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? He's the guy that smothers Jack
I
Nicholson.
think so, yeah.
You know what's so funny though, dude? The minute I saw
Spoiler
him,
alert.
Spoiler alert. The minute I saw him, I had this exact problem last week with Free Willy. In Free Willy, there's also a Native American man that helps with the whale. And for the longest time, I was like, is that the guy from Poltergeist 2? I looked it up last week and I was so sad. I was like, no, it's not the same guy. I'm just racist, I guess. I'm sorry. I like looked and I was like, this sucks. Because I was psyched for it to be that guy because I love that guy. And then this week, here we go again. I'm like, but I had it was the opposite where I was like, I'm gonna get disappointed. It's not the guy from Poltergeist 2. I'm not even gonna Google it. And then at the end of the movie, I was like, this looks exactly like the guy from Poltergeist 2. Fuck you, it is. So that's the rule.
That poor
If
guy,
you have a
by
killer
the way.
whale movie, the fucking one of the Indian guys in Hollywood has to be in it.
Yeah, it kind of almost felt a bit of the same story almost
Yes, a little
because of
bit.
that.
Yes.
It's like you need this guy to tell the lore so the dumb white man can go out there and get his ass killed.
Dude, but I gotta tell you,
But he gets killed in a terrible way. I didn't even realize he died
yeah, it's really fucked
because
up.
it was just like ice blocks fell on him.
Well, I gotta say, like, I thought, because in the movie, this is what I thought, is like, the whole time I was watching, because this is a first time watch for me. Was this the first time you ever saw Orca?
Yeah, I've
Okay,
never seen. I've heard about
same.
it, and I think I've seen posters,
I
but
was
I
kind of
never
impressed
bothered to
because
watch it for some reason.
for the first half hour of the movie, Richard Harris, who is the main character, is super unlikable. Like, the whole fucking inciting incident for this movie is that he wants to just harpoon a whale for money or like collect a whale basically to sell to an amusement park. And people warn him, they're
Yeah, he
like, you're
said
gonna
it's like
fuck it
worth
up.
something.
Yeah, and you never know what it's worth. And he, in doing so, he just causes a bunch of damage. Like, he accidentally spears one that he doesn't mean to. It's like a female whale that turns out when they haul it up, it's pregnant. It's like the most tragic scene in the movie. And she just pushes out, like,
It's
this little
also
baby whale.
hilarious.
It is a little funny. Didn't it look like to me?
It just pops. It's like this little baby
Blip.
whale gets shit out, and then
Yeah.
he's there with the hose, like
He's like,
he
hose it
blows
off me,
the
dick.
side.
Yeah, we should also say Richard Harris has a ridiculous Irish accent. But, okay, so the movie, that's how the movie starts. And it makes you kind of hate Richard Harris because also everybody that meets him is like, what a fucking dick. You killed the female whale for no reason. She was pregnant. Everybody in the town talks about it and knows. So I was like, how are they going to make you root for Richard Harris? And the answer is they really don't. That's actually very smart because I don't know about you, dude. I was kind of rooting for the Orca throughout the movie, which made it really fun until there was a breaking point where like the Orca started to take too much. Like once it bit Bo Derek on the leg, I was like, okay, Orca, you've had enough fun now. You've destroyed the oil refinery. You've knocked houses down. You had to take Bo Derek's leg. I was like, fuck this. And there was this great moment, dude. I don't know what it is. I was like, this is like some badass, like Liam Neeson, the Gray type shit. There's a moment where the town has been on Richard Harris to be like, you gotta fucking go fight the whale. You're bringing all these problems. You gotta get out of here. And there's this shot of Richard Harris on the front of the boat when he decides to go out and he's in like a hood. And he looks like he hasn't slept in like 5 days. He looks like the most miserable motherfucker on planet Earth. And I don't know why I was so struck by that image and the vibe of that scene that I was like, I'm on this guy's side. Now I want him to fucking kill the whale. I came around all of a sudden. Was there ever a moment where were you rooting for Richard Harris or not rooting for him?
Even for Charlotte Rampling, she was like, "Kill it!"
Yes, even by the end, yes.
She like, and she's supposed to be the one that's like siding with the whales and doesn't. She even says that he's gonna kill all the like, she's gonna do something really stupid and cause some havoc, which of course he does. And she still likes the guy, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
But you know what? I felt that it was like he's kind of like he's one of these characters that you can't tell if he's good or not. Like, yeah, he's an opportunist, he's a fisherman, but just because you're fishing doesn't mean you're a piece of shit, right?
Right, right,
Because
right.
it's like a livelihood, especially for these people. And there are places where they just beat whales to death on a beach, so he's not that bad, I suppose. But he also has some sort of conscience, because you can tell in his acting that he says things, but his eyes kind of tell you a different story where he's like, he really feels something when that baby dies because it also ties
Yes.
in with his backstory of having his wife and child killed by a drunk driver. So you can tell his actions, he's probably not happy with himself for what happened. But now he has to deal with the consequences. So I feel as though he talks tough with the town folk, but internally, I think he actually struggles throughout the whole thing. So part of me, when I saw those little moments where he has a conscience, I could be like, okay, yeah, I kind of don't want. He is after all a human. But and I
Yes.
also thought it was funny too. But like most of the human lives, they don't really give a shit about. And it's like,
No.
the baby whale, and it's like, what about his friend and his father's friend that just got eaten? Like
Yes.
no one gave a fuck about that guy.
No. Yeah, and it
But
is true, dude. The bodies do hit the floor in this, and there isn't a lot of like it's mostly just the villagers being like, "All right." It's not you don't even really see them mourning. They're just kind of like, "We don't want any more bloodshed. We don't want any more crap in the town. You have to take the whale away." Because he's specifically targeting. That's what I liked about the movie because I was like, "That's such a fucking clever idea." To use the fact, and it's such a bullshitty thing, like somebody on the Dino De Laurentiis hired read like, you know that the whale, it have the biggest brain of them all, and they're like, maybe we can use it. He's like a smart whale, and he have a real emotional problem. And they're like, that's actually kind of fucking amazing. Like the whole thing that it's just targeting him specifically, fucking with him, like that is exact premise is the premise of Jaws 4 the revenge, right? Jaws' revenge. But there it's a little silly. Here it actually kind of works. Where it's like, okay, you believe that this fucking whale's targeting this guy because of what he did. And it witnessed everything, right? And they do these
by
great
the way,
cuts
that's a very
too.
effective scene
It's super effective, but
where
like
it's watching all this shit happen in the
yes,
background.
even that
and
simple
then
cut to
it's
the
watching
eyeball,
its
dude.
mate.
Yes, yeah.
Although it does look like for some reason I always laughed when they cut to the eyeball because it just looked like it was like really lazy.
It looked
They're
like a
just
little milky
"Whoa."
eye, like it was a little sickly. Yeah, that was like the animatronic. You were like, why wouldn't you just use the real whale? You have the real whale's eye. Yeah, dude, but I was so just impressed by the concept because I, like you, same thing. I was ready for like, okay, the killer whale, it's gonna be terrorizing the town. Nobody did anything. It's like, no, dude. This movie, it even actually, I thought this was kind of clever and such a cheap movie producer thing to be like, we need to set ourselves apart and have people be like, fuck Jaws. Like, who would ever say that? And the fucking first scene in this movie is an orca. It's showing you an orca taking on a great white, and it basically pummels the great white to death, and it's like, he's a killer. It's basically this movie saying, fuck Jaws, here's Orca the killer whale. It happens in the first like 5 minutes. And
It's
I
kind of
thought,
cool, actually. I
dude, same.
appreciated that, actually.
I thought the ballsiness of that move, I was like, they even had the same kind of similar notes, those John Williams notes underneath the shark shot.
Yeah, exactly. That score was perfect for that. It was almost like they did a cheap knockoff version of it that you
Yes.
find on like a stock music thing where they're like, sounds like Jaws. I think going back to your point with the setup, when they show all four brains and they're like, look at the orca brain, it has all the shit around it. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe they are smarter than us. They just don't have fingers and shit.
Right, yes.
But they even say that too. They're like, it's born with fingers.
Yes, they
like,
really
"Oh,
try to
shit."
make you care for like the little orca like fetus that comes out.
It even looks almost a bit humanoid too when it comes
Yes.
out because it's like fleshy colored.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's to be honest, I made fun of it, but it is a very effective scene.
You know what it is?
So much happens during that scene too.
It's super sad too. I think it's not just the sight of the fucking fetus is a little silly. It's that the other whale is crying. That's what it is. I think it's the whole mood of the scene where you're like, you understand that this animal's witnessing the death of its mate and its baby, and it's very effectively done. Like, that's the other thing I was kind of surprised by, because again, I know 1977 has given us like Star Wars and Sorcerer and some other amazing movies, right? But like at this time in the 70s, outside of those key amazing filmmakers, dude, movies were really slow and languorous and just like they would just fucking focus on something that had nothing to do with anything. You'd be like, why are we wasting all this time? Dude, this movie does not fuck around. It's like, oh, you came to see Orca? We got orcas all over the There's never a scene where there ain't orcas in the fucking water. We're going to be seeing 10 orcas, one orca, the orca's doing flips and shit.
Yeah, it's like you got the whole pod of orcas.
Yes. It felt very like almost like a Canon Films thing to be like, if it's on the poster, it's in the movie. The minute the movie starts, the orca's there. So I kind of appreciated
the
that
payoff
workman
is
like
perfect, actually.
Yeah, totally. And I gotta say, for like a 70s movie, again, that's not made by like a fucking name guy, it's very well made. The action sequences are very thrilling. And it doesn't fall into too many 70s traps. There's only one trap, I think, that it falls into that I don't like and I think is indicative of that time. There's a real over-reliance on Charlotte Rampling's voiceover when it's not needed.
That threw me off, actually.
Yes, dude. Totally. You could just feel the like, somebody had a shitty note and they were like, the people need to understand why Richard Harris is going out into the middle of the ocean. Like, we get it. Like, I thought that scene would have been so much more powerful. I really love that shot of him with that hood and he just looked so fucking miserable as the ship is sailing out. Like, for it to be in quiet and to have moody music behind it, like if Robert Eggers made that shit, he wouldn't because it's in 1977. It would have to be like 1877. But if he made that shit, you know it would just be like a fucking violin, like just this mood, right? And the movie almost starts to achieve that, and then it has Charlotte Rampling's voiceover coming in, and it's explaining things in this like, it's a way that a human being would never talk. Like she's talking like she's reading passages out of a novel, but we're to believe it's her inner thoughts. That was my only real gripe with the movie. Yeah, big time. Yeah.
That
Foremost a
totally
good
took
word.
me out of it too because you have it almost feels like it's very naturalistic. I thought it would be kind of like that really crappy 70s style where it's just like so much light, like everything looks
100%.
lit. This
Yes.
one is like the night is the night, it's very dark, and the daytime stuff feels very natural. It almost feels like an indie film from like Ireland or something like that. By the
Yes.
way, when I first started watching it, I thought it was like not in America because you had like Charlotte Rampling and
Oh,
then you had
yes. And Richard
Richard Harris,
Harris.
and I was just like, "Where the fuck are we?" And then it's like, "Oh, we're in America, right? Isn't it
Yeah.
supposed to? Because everyone has an American accent,
Right, because he
so
wants to
that
go back to
threw me
Ireland.
off."
Yeah, he's trying to get the money to go back to Ireland. And dude, his Irish accent is good. There are some times where it's a little silly. It's still Richard Harris.
Where
Like
he's like,
Richard Harris is fucking good, man. He's a good actor. I know that's not news to most people, but like I've only seen Richard Harris in like Unforgiven, the fucking Harry Potter movies, maybe one or two other random movies where he's popped up. So I'm not familiar with him in his day as a leading man. And you know that his son is Jared Harris, right? The actor
"Yeah,"
Jared Harris.
which
And
is
there are moments in
crazy.
this where
Yeah,
he looks just like Jared Harris. It's fucking uncanny
it's
how much they look
crazy.
like each other. Yeah.
It's like a clone of him.
Yes, yes, dude, totally. Especially like when he gets mad, they
But
kind of look the same, exactly the same.
but did you also feel as though it was like the cast is actually for that type of movie? It felt like they had a really good. Those are like big names
Yeah,
at the
dude,
time,
Charlotte
no?
Rampling, that's a big fucking deal. But you know what that is, dude?
Yeah.
That's the Dino De Laurentiis of it. Because like even though Dino De Laurentiis does make some crap, he always gets the fucking big actors. I think it's like the Italian money. He throws money on the table. He's, fucking sweetens the deal. He probably gives him a cocaine hookup. It's the 70s. People want to get all coked up. So he's got, it's Italy. I've got a mountain of cocaine. And they're like, I got how'd you get
All
Charlotte
those snow
Rampling?
seas were
Richard Harris.
cocaine.
Yeah. Dude, and if Will Sampson was coming off of an Oscar win, that's a huge get for your fucking Jaws knockoff
Yeah,
to
that's
get
true.
this Oscar winner in here and Charlotte Rampling and fucking Richard Harris. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and they do a great. You can't. They
Yeah,
don't
they're all
dial
great.
it in either. They're giving really good performances
Yeah.
outside of that voiceover that you were saying, which I
Yes.
totally agree with.
That's my only gripe for this
But
movie is like I thought the voiceover, and that's the thing. I was like, okay, well maybe they did it a little bit in the beginning and they'll sort of go away. They kept bringing it back, and I was like, fuck, if they got rid of this voiceover, to me, this is like if I had to be this guy. If it's like I give this movie like 4 out of 5 stars. You remove that Charlotte Rampling bullshit, I would give this movie, I'm not kidding, I might even give it 5 stars. I really liked it a lot.
really,
I really
by
liked
the
it a
way,
lot.
did you feel as though they also put too much distance between the voiceover? Because you forget that there was voiceover, and then suddenly
Yes.
it just comes out of nowhere, and it's very jarring.
Which is the worst.
And
That's
you're
like the
kind of like, "Oh
telltale
God,
sign that like, oh, somebody had a note in post and now they're just adding shit to add shit because they think the movie's too quiet. Like they need to make it busy and they're like, oh, we can't just trust the audience. After we've given them a shot with an orca blowing up a refinery and celebrating
Yeah.
with backflips, we can't have this long, slow shot of the ship going out into the water. We need to fill it with something. I can see the Italian guy being like,
Oh
this is
yeah,
a dead air. Put something here. You know what I mean? Can you feel that? Like, there's something you can feel it through the
yeah."
screen a little bit.
It's like you should have the audience enjoy the silence. Oh, hold on one second. This
Whoa.
stupid ass Amazon just started playing music in the
Oh,
background.
shit.
So anyway,
Maybe
I
I'll put
totally
a
agree
fucking
with
orca
you, but
sound effect right there, and it'll be like, and then we'll just leave it as is. Amazon was making this weird orca sound at me while I was trying to review the movie Orca, the Killer Whale.
by the way, I agree with you. I also give it high praise, and in fact, I didn't even feel like it was a knockoff because number one,
Yeah.
it's a different animal altogether. The storyline's totally different. And it actually looks amazing. Like the
Yes.
last scenes in those ice fields,
Looked
and
amazing.
I'm not sure how much was a set and what isn't, but it looks great.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
even the last shot with the sun coming behind is
Yes.
beautiful.
Dude, that bit, it sounds so cliche, but I was like, this is some epic shit. That bit where the orca hits him and separates him on the glacier, and it's just him versus the orca, and there's no way he can jump to where Charlotte Rampling is, and he's on a glacier in the middle of the ocean. That's some poetic shit, and it looks awesome.
It's kind of goes to with like that Orca's desire to have a one-on-one with him. It's like
Yes.
everything that Orca has done is designed to separate him from everyone else.
Yes.
So it is a one versus one, and you get that old school man versus nature that
I
you get
love
in
that
like all
shit,
those
dude.
depressing American novels.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like I can see where the gray would like take a lot from this movie. Did you find it funny though when he finally gets his comeuppance that he just gets launched from
Yes.
the tail?
I was waiting. So the tail thwack launches him to impale him on the rocks, but like, I was waiting for them to be like, oh, he wanted to toy with him, and now he's gonna leap out and bite him. Because we are shown that he bites, and he bites like 5 other people. I did think that was weird. It was I almost like, in thinking about it now, and this is purely extrapolation, I'm like doing way more for this movie than it needs me to. It almost felt like he couldn't bear to even put him to ingest him. Like, he wasn't worth it. Like, that's how detestable he was to the whale. He was like, fuck this. I don't even want to.
Trash.
I'm not putting you in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like a little bit. That's how much hatred was in the whale, dude. I fucking loved. It's such a good idea, and this movie does a lot with it. I know it sounds ridiculous, and it is. Some of the shit is ridiculous, but like, even that shit is so fun. The refinery explosion, the knocking of the house, like, dude, when he does the headbutt shit, and the whale is headbutting the bottom of these ships and breaking through, or even when he's headbutting. The one that made me laugh the hardest was when he headbutted the glacier to create 2 glaciers.
That threw me off though, because I was like, that's fucking pure ice.
Yes.
Like, how hard is this thing's head?
Dude, there's also a fucking gangster line right before that where they're like, what? Where Richard Harris has lost it, and the crew, the people that are still alive on the boat are like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, the guy from Poltergeist 2 is like, we gotta get out of here. And he's like, ice, I'll take him to the ice. It cuts both ways. He's got to come up for air, and you're like, oh my god, Richard Harris is a demented genius. He's going to, like, shred this whale up through the ice so he can, like, fucking punch him in the face or something. He's going to do some crazy shit. And then that never happens.
He almost does, too, because he's with the shotgun, and he's blasting at the holes whenever it tries to come up.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Yeah, that was super cool.
And
I like that.
I actually thought they would. I like you thought they would do something else with that, where he'd eventually run out of like rounds, and then you have to go like
totally
axe versus whale.
Yep.
Which
or try to like
dope.
impale him with the end of the rifle somehow, like shove the barrel into him into the blowhole or some shit. I thought they were leading up to that. Also, the thing that she threw, I didn't realize it was the shotgun at first when she was like, catch. I thought she was throwing him another harpoon, and I was like, oh, this is going to be hardcore. He's going to be there with a harpoon with no gun. He's just going to have to stab it. But it's the shotgun. It's not.
You know what? Here's the other thing, too, is like they do a really cool shot, and they build up a lot of suspense to that harpoon, because it looks like this is a custom-made harpoon that's never been used. It's really shiny on the edge, and it's like really cool looking. And he's just like, and then it's gone.
I do love a good, though. I love a good thing where the prop team pays off a hit. Like, one of my favorite things, this is so stupid, but it's like the one detail I remember from the movie 300. When that one guy's shield gets all the arrows in it, and then he just like takes his sword to like chop all the arrow ends off, and you hear that sword cut all the wood, like cut it off, right? There was a similar moment of like that pleasing arrow ASMR in this movie, where after the orca got harpooned, I was like, what's going on? The fucking harpoon's just in its back. It's like, right? It's underneath these glaciers. No, dude, it passes under a glacier, and you got this satisfying break where it was pushing against it to break the fucking staff of the harpoon away. And I was like, oh, fuck yes. This movie, dude, between that and the house, I was like, this movie gives you what you want, man. Like, if you see an opportunity, a visual opportunity, Orca will give it to you. I appreciate that.
Did you have a favorite kill out of all those, by the way? Like, was there one that really stands out to you where you're like, this one's the best?
No, the only one I can think of, because the one-on-one kills I thought for me were like very silly, and I thought the general mayhem that the whale caused was so much cool. I mean, Dude, the whole refinery sequence is going to stay with me because of how ridiculous but awesome it was. And the fact that it's doing the fucking SeaWorld flips in the water as the town is burning. It's ridiculous. And I laughed, but I'm going to tell you, I rewatched that scene twice. And the second time I wasn't like after the Band-Aid had been ripped and I was like, okay, I know what to expect. I could just appreciate it on its own merits. And I was like, this is psychotic glee. Like, I really am enjoying watching this whale fuck with this town.
From the whale's perspective, can you imagine? It's like that's like more than you could wish for. It's like I was just hoping to burn down a couple boats in this pier.
Yes.
And he took out like their whole fuel system
Yes, dude.
to a degree where they won't even sell him. I like the repercussions of everything too, because he can't get everything's designed in the movie too to actually keep him in that area
Yes.
and forces him to face the whale, but in a believable way. It's like he's ostracized by the town because they know that they're taking out their boats. So everything is actually, to me, as ridiculous as it is, it's also very believable. And it's shot in a way that makes it feel
Yeah.
as though this is something that could happen. There's never any moment where it's like it jumps out on land and it's doing stuff that it's always in the water, which is cool. Like
It's hacking.
it's
It's
like,
hacking
it's
into the
very
fucking
cool.
junction box to cut it open. The whale has a wrench and it just dude, that was the funny shit when it dislodges the pipes from the house. It like hits those pipes and the water starts going everywhere and flooding the guy's house. I was like, this is fucked up. Wait, did you have a favorite kill?
I think the Bo Derek one was probably like, to me it was
Yeah.
like it's kind of made it feel like you're not safe anywhere, and I felt as though that one was like the least. Most of them are just like him jumping out and like biting something and then dragging them underwater, but this one was like very visceral. That gore sequence, it
Yes.
looked very real to
I
me.
think that was the goriest bit in
And
the movie.
Yeah, I think so. It was
Well,
pretty
human.
disturbing
Besides the
one,
like
actually.
the
Yeah.
mate getting killed. That that was
Yeah.
the bloodiest thing we saw.
And you actually feel for her too, because these are just characters that are like mostly, they were just part of the crew, and they didn't really have anything to do with his lust for like grabbing this poor orca.
Yeah.
But you do feel, I think you feel more for the crew than him
Yes.
in a lot of instances.
Yeah, especially the guy. The guy that gets denied gas. Because if you think about it from his perspective, the only thing he has in the movie is Bo Derek. He has like he's getting it on with Bo Derek. That's pretty awesome. Good for you, guy. But Bo Derek dies and gets taken away from him. Then he's basically Richard Harris's like, I guess, like first mate, I guess they call it, right? So he has to do everything Richard Harris says, even when Richard Harris has lost his mind and is clearly like not cooperating. Then everybody in the town hates him. The guy lost his fucking girlfriend. Then he goes on a death ship in the middle of the fucking water. And then he dies. And nobody listens to him.
Yeah, I know.
It's fucking...
Their
That guy, I
lives
think, gets it
suck.
the worst. That guy gets it the worst. I did think it was sad, though, just because I'm a fan of that guy, the Poltergeist 2 guy, Will Sampson. I was like, that fucking guy dies under the ice. I was like, that's fucked up. I thought he would at least die at the hands of the whale, right? Like some kind of
Yeah.
poetic thing, but like, no, it was like so... like, the ice shards just coming down and like, just covering him. I was like, oh, that's fucked.
I know it kind of sucks for that dude. It was just like unceremoniously crushed by ice.
Yes, that's that to me feels like a worse death than getting like knocked out of a boat as you're standing stupidly over the water.
But did you feel as though sometime maybe that was meant to be an accident? I kind of thought, I was like, is this meant to be an accidental kill? Because he's kind of like, he's trying to warn them and tell them of like the lore and stuff. And he's really
Yeah.
not that, he doesn't, it's sort of because he keeps Charlotte Rampling alive. And I
Yes.
guess the whale sort of knows that, and maybe the whale saw her reading to the mate on the shore. But he
Oh,
has
and
no
that's why.
malice towards some people that are kind of like, more on the side of the whale, or kind of like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You're like,
Or
going too
not on the
crazy
crew.
here.
If they're not officially like on the real crew
Yeah.
from before, and they're just going with Richard Harris at the end. That's a good point. Yeah, but then yeah, you're right. I didn't even think of that. Then it is just kind of tragic that Will Sampson dies. It's just like he shouldn't have been there anyway, but he volunteered to go. That's the other whole thing. I did think it was crazy that I knew, again, I was like, this movie's gonna give me exactly this. I was like, Charlotte Rampling is gonna be the last one alone on this ice, and you're gonna gently hear the helicopter that they SOS for, and that'll be the end of the movie. And of course that's exactly what happened, but I was like, it would be so twisted if you're waiting and she's waiting to hear the helicopter, you never hear it. And then the credits just roll.
Oh my God, that actually would be pretty. Actually, I think that would elevate the movie a bit more.
Yeah, there you go.
It's almost like
That's the
that
A24
whole
version
man
of
versus
Orca.
nature. Yeah. Did it bother you though, the dynamite scene?
Okay, I'm going to tell you,
Where it's like, come on, really?
I
You're gonna
hated that
screw up a
moment
dynamite?
because of Charlotte Rampling, because it was like, pick a lane. She's there because she's like, I don't want, at first she's like, I'm on the side of the whale, fuck you. Then she begins to care about Richard Harris. She's like, I don't want you to go out and kill yourself, which is basically what it feels like he's going to do. And then when she's with him, though, the thing she needs him to do so he can live is kill the whale. But when he goes to do that, to do the dynamite, and it would have saved everybody at that time who was still alive, including Will Sampson, she stops him. So it felt totally unnecessary. I think all the Charlotte Rampling stuff, like the VO and the dynamite shit, all feels like a real disservice to that character, because it kind of made me retroactively dislike her a little bit. Because before I liked her.
Especially at the end. You're totally right, because when she says like, kill it, it's like, now you want to do it now that everybody's dead?
You're like, you didn't care about this before.
It's like kind of too late now, yeah.
Totally. It's 100% too late. That kind of push and pull of like, it's like, pick a lane, dude. And I'm so glad they didn't cheap out, because there is a moment that feels like it was set up, like where she's leaning over the boat. You have the POV of the orca, like it's going to bite her head off. And it looks like she's going to vomit or something. And I was like, oh, that's tragic, because she has to lean over, and then that's how it's going to nip her. And then it kind of Richard Harris barely pulls her away in time. I was like, oh, wow, the movie doesn't go for the cheap shit. Like, it's like, yeah, we could have done that, but no, it's better just to kind of like the fight. Again, like you're saying, the fight is with Richard Harris. It's not with her. So maybe it's like, I'm not going to play, but I'm not even going to fucking tease that.
Because I feel that orca at the end, she's standing so close to that edge that the orca could have just went like.
Yep. Yeah.
Although
you're right.
Another funny ending would be.
Oh, go ahead.
If she pushes if she pushes him over the edge and then fist bumps the orca, and that's the end.
Yeah, dude. The orca puts its tail fin up, and she like high fives it, like, yeah, woo.
And then it plays some happy Italian song at the end.
Like when the moon hits your eye, like that's what happened. That's amore. Yeah, dude. I was super impressed with this, and if anything, it made me feel a little bad at the end, because I was like, uh-oh, Mark. We got a good lineup for this month, but I don't know if anything's going to come close to this. I got to tell you, I think this is a pretty strong contender. I mean, not that we're like ranking these. Inevitably, it always gets to that point, but like, I don't know, man. Do I think the other movies we have lined up are going to compare to this? I don't think so. I think they'll be good. There'll be some good ones, but I don't think it's going to get close to the level of Orca.
Well, I get this feeling that we both didn't realize how good this movie is.
Yep.
Because it is, I think it's legitimately good.
Agreed.
Like, and the things that drag it down, it's just its time period. And it's like, yeah, they didn't have the effects to do it that way. But considering what they were able to do, it's very believable. And there's a lot, there's some ridiculous stuff in there too, like the jumping. But the thing is, if you remove some of those looped jumps and got rid of the voiceover, like you said, this could be like a contender for a pretty high score.
I feel like that's where that's the separation between a JAWS and a JAWS knockoff. Because Spielberg has the restraint to be like, no. This is how we artfully present this. This is how the shark is seen. I don't go for cheap shit. I don't need VO like this. Like, that's where the Spielberginess like bumps it up, where you're like, this is in an upper echelon. We can't touch this.
Like those one-er shots and stuff.
Totally. There is craft there. This has like workman-like crowd pleasing, like, well, there's an orca on the poster. We must have 10 orcas in one shot right away. Right? Like, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love, as a lover of canon films, like, I appreciate that style of thinking. But when you're talking about artistry, like film art, that's what separates. That's the Spielberginess is not there. And that's what makes this just kind of like, eh.
Can I try to convince you though? But like I said, with the natural lighting and the night scenes, also it being in a very widescreen format, don't you feel as though that kind of like bumped it up in
Oh,
terms
yeah.
of epicness, right?
They were going for
And
it.
also,
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
and the boat looks cool, and this all the sets feel very like
Can I ask you a nerdy
believable.
question? Did you want the boat to have a cooler name? Because the boat in Jaws is called
Bumpo?
the Orca. Bumpo sucks. The boat in Jaws is called Orca, which is awesome, right? And that's another thing that I think that's what, again, the Italian movie producer of the 70s is like, we should call the movie the Orca. Then people will think it's connected to Jaws, right? Dude, when I saw the name of his boat was...
They named their boat Jaws.
Yeah. That would have been fucking amazing. Or they call it Bruce. Dude,
Yeah.
the fact that it was called Bumpo and Bumpo meant nothing in the movie, at least that we're shown. I thought there was going to be some reveal when he's like finally reveals to Charlotte Rampling, like, hey, I lost my family to a drunk driver. I thought he was going to say the nickname for the baby was Bumpo because she had a baby bump, and that's how he would refer to it. And I was like, that would make that name have meaning and feel like, oh, and then when you see him get on the boat, you want him to live, right? But they never do that.
Dude, you know what's funny about that scenario though? It's like they never gave the baby a name. He's like, I just call it Bumpo.
But that's like what old Irish people would do, you know what I mean? He's just an old Irish fisherman. He's got no imagination. You know, like that's what he would call his baby, you know? Right?
Well, we didn't even give it a name, but it would look like a bump.
Right.
This guy's an idiot.
I told you I wanted to name him after me dad, Seamus. And she's like, I ain't naming no baby Seamus. And then he's like, well, fine then. If we can't decide on the name, we'll be calling him Bumpo. Then it would at least give that fucking stupid boat. Like, dude, Jaws has everything. It even has a cool boat name. Just a little detail like that. The name of the boat in the movie is 5-star. Fantastic. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, here, the little separation, I'm like, God damn, I wish that boat. The Jaws nerd in me wanted the boat in this to have a cooler name. Is that dumb?
By the way, I'm very happy you brought that up because I totally forgot that as I was watching it. I'm not even joking. I was just like, Bumpo?
What the fuck is
Because it
that?
almost feels like some clown name.
Yes,
It's like,
dude.
just like Bozo's ship.
You can't do anything with B and O together. Like the Bumpo,
The other thing
Bozo.
too is like boat names are supposed to be cool, right? Or some
Yes.
stupid. It either has to be a stupid pun
Yep.
or like a cool name. And it's
Yes,
like
dude.
you had all these names to choose from, and you chose Bumpo,
Yeah. What
which
the
is
fuck?
that you're right. You're totally right. That is the dumbest name for a boat because you see it so many times too.
It's
As
super
going past
prominent.
it, it's like epic scene through the ice, and it's like Bumpo.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Ah!
I feel like you either have to change the name of the boat, or you have to give that stupid fucking name a reason to exist. So then when we see it, we're not turned off. You know?
Yeah, and also the boat doesn't bump into anything either, so it's
Yes!
not even a cool nickname.
You're
It's
absolutely
like,
right.
It's called Bumpo because it's always bumping into things.
Or it could have like these cool bumpers because it knows, you know, like a tugboat. It's got to like have protection. That would have been great too. It's always bumping into things. Always bumping into things. That's why he calls it Bumpo. He's not that clever. He's an Irishman. The first mate's got to always explain away. Richard Harris isn't that clever.
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot. I like how he says that at one point. He's like, look at this idiot in the water. Idiot. Mark, where do you land
Oh my god, my face hurts.
with Orca on a scale of jawsome to not jawsome and anywhere in between? Where would you put Orca?
You know what? I'm not even lying. I'll put it in Jossum territory, and I
Fuck yeah.
totally agree with you. I have a feeling that this is such a well-made movie. Like, even, I'm sorry, they even have shots under the ice and shit. Like, I
Yes.
didn't think they would do that stuff in the 70s. I'm sorry, they did some stuff that felt like it was more of an, it felt more like an 80s movie.
Yes, you're right.
It's
No,
only 3 years
yes.
away, but it didn't feel like I always equate 70s with like kind of shit. I
Same.
feel so the 70s, and also
Except for
the other
Jaws.
thing too is for yeah, that's
Except for
75.
Jaws.
But I'm telling you, I I don't care. The costumes in this were way cooler than the costumes in Jaws. Like you see some of the people in Jaws, and you're like, oh, 70s. This one kind of felt
Oh,
like
yeah.
you could take
I
it to
guess you're
any time
saying
period.
outside of the crew of the Orca, like Hooper and Quint and Brody,
Well,
that
and
people are
it
dressed
felt
kind
like
of
just
like.
workwear. It's like, yeah, you don't see like bell bottoms and like
Well, I
dumb
guess so.
shit
Charlotte
like that,
Rampling,
or like
super fashionable. Dude, and then you got fucking Luck of the Irish guy
yeah,
with
but
his
she
fucking
was kind of an
cap.
academic, so that was okay.
Oh, yeah. I did laugh at him. I was like, they gave him the most Irish shit. He was wearing like the fucking long sleeve shirt, the fucking poofy Irish hat.
It's filthy too.
It's filthy. He
Here's
had
the
the,
filthy Henley.
when he goes to the church, he has to borrow the tie from the first. Dude, another ultimate insult to that guy. He has to loan his fucking tie to Richard Harris. That guy is fucked. He gets it the worst of this movie, that first mate. I'm with Mark.
And Richard Harris walks into him when he's having an intimate moment with Bo Derek. He's like, I'm just gonna barge right in there.
Yeah, oh
Go
shit,
away.
you're right. I didn't even think about that. What the fuck? Dude, I'm with you. I'm gonna
Yeah, he's
give
kind of a
Orca
dick, actually.
a rating of Jawsome. It's Jawsome. Like, it's great. I think, listen, we got some good ones coming up, and we got one questionable one. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't think it's gonna get this good again this month, people. I'm sorry. We may have programmed this shittily, and you may have the banger right out of the gate. This might be it.
That's a good way to start it, though.
Yeah, excellent kickoff to JAWS Knockoffs June. All right. We'll reveal what we're going to be reviewing next week at the end of this episode. But first, you want to do some Rex, buddy?
Yeah, let's do some Ricks.
Let me hit this shit.
I'm gonna rack it! Rack it! Rack it! Rack it! Rack, rack, rack! I'm gonna rack it! Rack it! Rack it! Rack it! Rack, 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 rack
Well, I
it!
go on facts, not recommendations, but thank you.
Idiots in the water. Idiots is funny to me. I'm going to start saying
I'm
that.
totally going to use that.
Yeah, dude. Like when I'm talking about
You
other
fucking
people
idiots.
at the theater, I'm going to be like, I got to deal with idiots at the theater.
Oh, that's one of those ones you can say out loud.
Yes,
You know,
totally. Yes,
Look at this
100%.
idiot.
Gonna be like, that guy's Irish. He doesn't know any better. Mark, I don't have
just
too
drunk.
many Recs this week. I think I maybe have 2, maybe 3. How many do you have this week?
I have like a 5,000 of them,
Oh, cool,
but I can do 3.
dude. Well, what do you want to
I
do?
think I
Like,
can do 3.
do you want to do like 4 or 5? We could kick it over to you to kind of like do a couple, kind of.
Well, let's see.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll start I'll start us off
I
if you
won't go
want.
too crazy, I guess. Yeah,
I'll
go
start
for
us
it, man.
off because I actually watched. I told you I've been trying to get better about watching some of Mark's Recs because I feel like I wrecked 3 things in the next week. In addition to 9 of Mark's Recs, he's also watched all of my Recs from the previous week. So I've been trying to get better, slowly but surely, about watching at least 1 or 2 of Mark's Recs that he calls something out. I'm like, all right, I want to make sure I watch this. Mark, this is like a new segment for me, Mark's Recs, that I watch. I watched one of your Recs this week. I finally watched a Minecraft movie, and Mark, I really liked it. This is coming from
nice.
someone, I'm a 41-year-old man. I have no connection to Minecraft. I don't give a shit. And that was kind of the thing that was keeping me away from it. And Mark, who had watched this first in one of our text threads, I forget which one, he was like, you don't have to know anything about the game. The bar for entry for this is super low. It doesn't fucking matter. And whatever you need to know, the movie explains. And I was like, okay, if it is truly that simple, I like Jack Black, I like Jason Momoa, and then you told me that Jared Hess from Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, 2 of my favorite movies, that he directed. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna watch this. Dude, is a Minecraft movie is actually kind of good. It's really entertaining, really weird in the best way possible. Like just like those Jared Hess movies, it's definitely a Jared Hess movie. Like there's some fucking weird shit in it. especially like just the town, the weirdness in the town, and like the teacher guy, the fact that the town is like reliant upon like a potato chip factory. This is like fucking dumb. And then the whole thing with Jennifer Coolidge in the real world dating that guy from the game who like she doesn't notice how hideous he looks and he has a square block for a nose. That is like the most Jared Hess shit. It's so weird, but it works. Like, and it also, beyond all the fun kind of weirdness, the movie has a good message. That's what, like, not to sound like a 41-year-old man.
That's you. That's me. I always like, it's a beautiful message.
Dude, it's got a really nice message about creativity and like making sure that we sort of like empower creatives and like help kids be creative, not to beat the creativity out of them, not to beat the weirdness and individuality. I can't talk. Individuality out of them. And actually was like, is this movie, like I kept looking at Jess and I was like, is this movie kind of good? She was like, yeah. And it's fucking funny as hell. Like dude, Jack Black, who would have thought Jack Black and Jason Momoa would have been like a fantastic comedy team? But they are. I'm giving Minecraft movie together a thumbs up. This movie is good. I can't believe I'm saying it. But good.
Dude, it's getting like shit reviews. So
good recommend. I thought it was exactly what you said. Yeah, it's exactly what you promised. It was just like you were like, it's really good, super entertaining. If you like this guy's movies, you'll like this, and you were right on, dude. So good rec on that. I really, really liked it.
Even the bad guy was funny. That spoiler alert to anyone. That last part when she kept trying to stab him, like it happened like 3 times, but it was always funny.
Yes, it was great.
And it's cool. Actually, you know what I liked about it too? It was like, it's like the movie you would imagine Jared Hess making with that much money.
Yes.
And he still doesn't lose himself in it, but it still looks I'm not joking. I think that some of the best effects are in that movie. It looks great. Awesome.
It's a good blend
like
of
every
CG
and crazy good
and physical too. Because I even think like that lady, the pig lady, it almost looked like she was like a real physical like effect in the real world, like a practical, like her hood and her hunchback and sort of like you could really feel her in the scenes. It almost looked like fucking Dark Crystal or something. And then you have like the digital face. Yeah, it was super
even
fun, man.
Square head dude.
Yes, all the fucking villagers, all the squarehead villagers, and you know what I like too? The zombies. I thought the zombies looked really cool in the movie.
They were also kind of creepy too in those scenes.
Yeah, and
like when they'd like
just kind of keep like yeah, they kind of keep rolling. I was more freaked out though by I don't know all the Minecraft shit, and I'm not going to learn it. I'm too old. I don't care.
It's okay, I don't know either.
These like long green things with like spider legs. You know what I'm talking about? They like bump into them and then they explode.
And they explode?
Those things are fucking terrifying. I think those things are far scarier than the zombies in this movie, to be honest. Those things gave me nightmares. Those things and the thing that the kid finds in that one room that's trying to hypnotize him. Fuck that thing.
Oh, yeah. That scene was crazy, actually.
Yeah, that's a good scene. It's a good scene. I was surprised, dude. That's also the fun thing of like when you're watching something and you're expecting it to suck, and as it keeps progressing, you're like, this is good. Wow, this is good. Oh my God, they're actually going to do this. Are they doing this? Am I liking this? And it's kind of a fun way to watch the movie because the movie's that good that by the end you're like, it wins you over. The winning over feels good.
And you kind of hope for another one. Actually, it was one of those movies where I didn't want to leave that world. Because it's also nice, it's colorful, it's exciting, it's fun.
Oh, they're definitely going to make another one because it made like $1 bajillion. And they set up a sequel.
Sweet.
They set up a sequel at the very end, at the end credit scene. Who I'm guessing dude, this is how people like at Marvel movies must feel when like a fucking some random shithead shows up and he's like, I'm this guy, and everybody's like, woo! Right? Everybody freaks out. There was a moment where Jack Black, spoiler for Minecraft. You know what? I'll just hit this. Spoiler for that post-credit scene of Minecraft. If you don't want to know or you care, just skip ahead 30 seconds. I'm not going to take all night with this. It shows him going back to his childhood home and he opens the door and someone else lives there. And I assume because they never show her face, she's like some big deal in the game, I guess, probably. That's what it felt like to me anyway. Do you know who that's
Yeah, if we
supposed to
saw
be?
this in the theater, everyone would be taking it. I don't know anything about Minecraft, which is why that's why I felt I could recommend it to you because I have no experience with the game other than like some of my cousins are like, "I play Minecraft," and I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" And I just didn't care. It's like this stupid kids game with these blockheads. I don't want
Stupid
to play this
fuck.
crap.
I don't want to build things. That's the building. It's the
I
building
want to
of it to
destroy things
me
in Doom.
that seems so just tenuous and just fucking. It's gonna take too long, and I gotta learn how to do the thing, and like. You never do it correctly. You're supposed to build a building, and then something knocks it down because you didn't put a certain fucking stupid thing in it. It's I can't be bothered with that. It's too much, too
I don't have the
laborious.
ability to build doors.
Yeah, dude, I can't. Even like when I used to, for like the 2 months that I played Fortnite, I never built anything.
Oh my God.
I never built
Dude,
shit.
some of these kids would build like sniper towers, and I would just be like, "How do I switch to the board?"
Dude, I would see somebody build a house that they could shoot from, and I would just keep running to hide. I was that guy. I would hide in matches until the end.
This is how I know I felt old, was when I was trying to shoot someone, and they would be building structure super fast so I couldn't hit them. And I was just like, how the fuck do you build a house that quickly? It's like, I have the same controls, and I just...
It was,
I can't do
wait,
it.
Mark, was like a little 8-year-old kid also like on your microphone, like fuck, saying the most horrendous shit to you.
Oh, probably. Fuck you, you old cunt! And I'm like, you don't
Like-
even know me! I'm trying to play the game!
I'm trying to learn the rules.
Dude, those little kids are the meanest, too.
I'm
Like,
on a
you do
fixed
not wanna play
income,
with-
and I spent the last of my money on a controller to play Fortnite. I always think when old people say that, like, I'm on a fixed income, like you feel bad right away, and you're like, God damn it.
It's like they're just eating like Campbell's beans and like hot dogs chopped into it. And it's like, meanwhile, this kid's probably in a mansion and can play this fucking game for like 8
He's
hours a
talking-
day, and they're like,
he's saying
it's like,
some of
I
the
have
most
a job to go to.
foul shit to them ever. I'm gonna drive a truck inside of your wife's blown out vagina. And the guy's like, my wife, as he's trying to eat the beans and control a Fortnite with
My
one
wife's
hand.
dead.
How could you say that about my wife? As the kid's building 3 sniper towers, launches an RPG at the guy. He just learned how to play because his granddaughter plays, so he thought it would be a fun thing to connect them. This is his life now.
Dude, these kid insults are like adult insults, but for some reason, it hurts so much
It's
more
so
when
much
it comes
worse,
from
dude.
a voice that
It's
young.
so much worse. Some of the shit they say.
anything. Your mom hates you. And I'm like, wanted to shoot you in the face.
It's like it doesn't even matter. Like they could even say like something that's factually wrong, you know? Like you could be like, you don't even know how to wipe your ass correctly. And like it hurts.
Like, your dick's small. And I'm like,
You're like,
come on. How'd you know?
fuck. How does he know about my dick size?
And then
Anyway,
they'll hack into your neck. I know where you live.
none of that is present in Minecraft, which is a very pleasant movie and is safe for all ages. Old people playing Minecraft, young people playing Minecraft. You ain't gotta worry about that shit. Dude, also, I just know, I'm telling you, this would be the kind of movie. I'm so glad I watched it at my house on like a nice TV with nice sound system. Because this could totally be one of those movies that you're like, I would have blown off in previous years. Like, I don't care. And then been on a flight and been like, all right, I have 2 options. It's this or some other fucking movie I don't care about. I guess I'll watch Minecraft. And then being like, that was pretty good. I watched Minecraft on the plane. It was pretty good. I turned into that guy. Fucking Joe Midwest, who had a great flight watching Minecraft. I'm telling you, don't wait for the airplane. Go watch the movie. Trust me and Mark, it's good.
Yeah, it's good enough that it warrants like a proper viewing. I'll go that far. I
I'll
don't
give it
care.
that for sure. Watch this at home where you have a nice setup. And if you have kids, all the better. You know, I'm sure they're gonna fucking know all the stuff. They can explain to you what the shit is. But you don't need to. The movie's really good about explaining that shit. And who cares? You don't need to know all the shit.
I
It
never
just still
felt
works.
lost, did you?
No, never.
Yeah.
No. And basically at a certain point, there was one point where they were like, oh, we've got to go. Oh, that's what it was. The first time they were like, we got to get a map to get the thing to go to the mansion to meet these people. In my mind, I was like, hey, guess
Oh
what?
yeah.
I don't care, and I don't need to learn any of this. The movie's just going to do this work for me. I'm completely tuned out. And that worked for me.
It's cool. I never felt like there was a moment where I had to Google something to like,
Yeah.
what's this mechanic? It was just like you just went along for the ride, which was nice. Thank you for taking care of its old farts.
Yeah, man, seriously. Also, is it like a rule that like every time Jack Black is in a movie, he's got to fucking come up with some dude, that I had all weekend. I had that lava lava chicken in my head. It was Mario Brothers all over again with Peaches. The fucking Peaches song. I was like, anytime this guy sings anything, it's like a massive earworm. And it just gets stuck in my head, man. All weekend, I've had that fucking lava chicken song in my head. Yeah, yeah. Mark, what's up for you, buddy? What's first for you on the red?
Oh, you know what? I guess I'll go Jared Hess, and I watched Gentleman Broncos after like many, many years, and that movie. You know what? I noticed it's like as you watch his budgets increase, he just keeps getting better and better to me.
And weirder
Like
and
that
weirder.
movie's,
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen it?
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, I like it. It's not one of my. I think Nacho Libre to me is like that's my favorite. I just think that's like.
Oh yeah,
that's a fucking fantastic movie.
that one is almost impossible to top.
But I think I've liked all of his movies to some degree. They're all we. I like the weird humor that works for me. Have you ever seen Don Verdean?
Well, you know what? No.
Don Verdean
Is
is
that
a
a feature?
it's like his weirdest one. Yeah, it's made on like a super tight budget, but it's like Danny McBride, Sam Rockwell. It's like a weird like religious
Oh wow,
comedy.
What?
Yeah, Don Verdean is what it's called.
Is this like a newer one or older
No, I
one?
think this was
I've
like
never heard of it.
this was maybe between Gentleman Broncos and Minecraft. Somewhere in there. But dude, so you
He's-
really like Gentleman Broncos a lot then.
Well, here's the thing: is when I think I first saw it because my brother and we love Nacho Libre,
Great movie.
and it was like, oh man, this is the one right after it, basically. And I didn't like it at first. I thought it was kind of like it was just like middle of the road. And then I watched it again, and I was like, man, it's actually like it's really funny. It's a nice like kid versus adult movie where like
Yeah.
I think he's like Sam Rockwell or no, what's his name?
Jermaine
I always
Clement.
forget that guy's name.
Jermaine Clement.
Yeah, he steals his idea. So it's this really cool back and forth. And I do love those movies where it's like you're rooting for the kid to take on this like titan in the industry.
Yeah.
And I think the second time I watched it, I appreciated it more. But I think it was also because I was watching all his movies. So, and the other thing is like his movies are just like you can turn them on and they're just fun and you can enjoy them. And not like you said, the weird humor is perfect, but it works really well. Like
Yeah.
the guy with the snake that has diarrhea. It's just like really
Oh
stupid
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I really like that because most movies, even comedies, have this tendency to go like they just get too heavy. It's
Yeah.
like now we have to be emotional, and it's like I don't care. Just like have a snake shit on some guy, and they all look weird. I love that stuff.
Have
It's
Jermaine
like I don't want
Clement
to take a movie serious.
Just say like isn't that the movie where Jermaine Clement's like you can be like anus, anius, anus.
See, where he's like how you can elevate character names by adding his weird things, and then as he's stealing his like, I love that stuff.
yeah, that shit is
I
funny.
think you'll
That shit is
appreciate
funny.
it more on like the second watch.
Maybe
But
I'll have
also,
to rewatch
that's
it.
the movie that. Well, that's the movie that got me to. I had no desire to watch Minecraft because I was like, I don't want to see it because, it's probably not for me. I'm too fucking old, and it's like all the kids are gonna enjoy it, and it's for like family members that take their kids and they all go enjoy. But after I watched that movie, and then the effects also are handled really well in Gentleman Broncos, I was like, okay, I kind of want to see. And I think that's how I found out that Jared Hess directed Minecraft, and I was like, okay. I think I watched it immediately after.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's when I recommended. So it's kind of like a double rec, which was Gentleman Broncos and Minecraft, because they went hand in hand really well. Because it's just crazy. It does get you in the mood for his style of humor, which is oddball, and I can see some people getting confused about it. But I think
love it. Yeah.
if you just let yourself into his world, it's super funny.
And you got that Jennifer
And you
Coolidge
gotta love a
connection
good
too, because she's in
anus
that
joke.
movie too, right?
Yeah.
She plays the kid's mom in
Yeah.
that too. Yeah, that's good. Good
She
stuff.
always has some weird relationship too.
Isn't her deal?
Which I
I'm
like.
remembering. I'm surprised by how much I actually. Isn't her deal in Gentleman Broncos that she's like a fashion designer, but she makes these like
Yeah.
hideous
Dude,
fashions?
how did you remember that?
I just
I
remember there was
totally
a
forgot
scene.
about that.
For some reason, I remember Jennifer Coolidge wearing something hideous, and she has like these sketches that are all hideous. And then there's a point where she has a fashion show, and they're wearing these fucking atrocious. You're like, oh god,
Yeah, it's during the credits.
oh my god, yeah. See, I
And
remember
they're all
that.
terrible.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
You should revisit it. I think you may like it more now that I don't know. I feel as though it's like it does require that second watch because there is a lot of funny stuff in it.
I might. You're kind of
Yeah, get
pumping
cheated
me
out.
up to do that. You're kind of pumping me up to do that.
Well,
All
especially
right,
post Minecraft. Yeah.
I don't have too many. I have two other ones. But like, there's one that I just put on in the. You know how I have my background movie. I've been really busy at work. Like, you know, I have that background movie that I put on throughout the week, and then I keep
The
coming back.
vacuuming movie.
Yeah, it's the movie that my cat watches 59 times, and I catch it in pieces one time. You know, that movie for me this past week was the OG, the original Back to the Future. I decided to put it
Oh
on.
shit.
I'm going to tell you something. Spoiler, guys, Back to the Future is a really good movie. No, here's what I want to say. I have this thing. There are two movies to me that are summer. When summer happens, or like to kick off my summer, I watch JAWS and I watch Back to the Future. And this happens
That's
every
dope.
summer. To me, it's like it's not summer until those two movies kind of happen in my life. And this was the week, man. I was like, we were getting a heat wave here, and I was like, fuck it. I want to watch the OG Back to the Future. And I wind up putting it on like throughout the week. And each week I would each day I would sit down and catch like 20, 30 minutes. So by the end of the week, I had caught the whole movie.
Oh wow.
It's fucking awesome. I mean, you don't need me to tell you.
Did
Back
A
to the
Million
Future's
Ways
awesome.
to Die in the West inspire you to watch it from seeing that little scene?
No, it's just a funny coincidence no, it was literally just because I was like, I'm ready for summer to start. How do I make myself feel like it's summer even though I'm trapped inside at a desk? And I was like, oh, I know. I'll put on Back to the Future, the ultimate summer movie. And then it does kind
Dude,
of
it
feel like
totally
summer now.
captures that summer vibe. You're
It
totally
totally
right,
does.
especially that start with the guitar.
Yeah, dude. Just seeing
It's
him
like you as a kid are like, I want to do that.
where he's on the skateboard hanging onto the back of the Jeep, getting like a hitching around town. They call it skitching. When you're skating and hitching, remember the Sega game,
Oh.
skitching? They call it skitching. Dude, when he's doing that shit and fucking Huey Lewis is playing, dude, that shit's awesome. That's summer right there, man. It's the shit, dude.
Yeah, now I want to watch that.
When he goes back to
Fuck.
1955
That
and he
is
goes
a
to the
good-ass
diner
movie.
and he's like, all right, kid, what do you want? And he's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, Pepsi free. And he's like, if you want a Pepsi, kid, you're going to have to pay for it. Like, there's a whole thing where he's like, he keeps talking. It's so good, dude. It's fucking awesome. Great movie.
Yeah, I really want. I haven't. Is this like a 4K you have, by the way?
Yes, I have the whole trilogy on 4K, the new 4Ks that came out a couple years ago. They all look fantastic. Like, Universal, this is like a crown
Wow.
jewel for them, right? As is JAWS. I've talked about this before on the show, but like, whenever they do like my JAWS 4K and my Back to the Future 4Ks, they're like some of the best 4Ks in my collection. Like, they've gone through extensive vault work where like Universal has put every knowledgeable person in their workforce to like oversee this thing and make it look the best it could possibly look like. It's one of the best looking 4Ks I've ever seen. It's fucking
Really? It's
dude,
like
it's like you're
reference
there.
quality?
Yeah, I would say this and JAWS are like reference quality discs for sure.
Damn. Do you
Yeah.
feel as though it like actually breathes new life into the movie? Because it's like probably
Well-
most of our viewings have been like not subpar, I'm assuming.
Well, to me, like the movie works no matter if you're watching it on a shitty VHS tape,
Yeah.
a DVD, or whatever. The movie's just that fucking good. To me, all this does is make it so immersive. It feels like Marty McFly is in my living room. Like, it feels like he's right in front of me sometimes. Where I'm like, Jesus Christ! I'm like,
That's
how clear
crazy.
is this? This is insanity.
Yeah, that is nuts. I had that same feeling. I haven't watched those DVDs. I mean, sorry, Blu-rays, but I had that same feeling with Demolition Man, where you're like, oh my God, it's like I'm looking
Yes.
through a window. It's
Yes.
insane.
Yeah, these are fucking amazing. They're the newer set that they put out. Dude, they look, oh God, they look so good. But now, of course, that's inspired. This happens every year. Is that I watch the first one and then I'm like, I gotta watch two. And then if I watch two, I'm like, I gotta go to the Old West and watch three. So I'm sure that this week I'm probably gonna wind up kind of closing the loop and watching Back to the Future 2, and then maybe the following week I'll catch part 3 to finish this baby off
I
again
feel,
under the summer in the books.
doesn't it feel like it's one of the most cohesive trilogies though? It's like, holy
Yeah.
shit, everything connects so well. You kind of feel like it's one movie.
And there's
I always have the
no
same feeling too.
drop in quality at all throughout the three movies. They feel like they were all made back to back to back.
Yeah,
It's
that's
incredible.
crazy actually.
Yeah. Dude, Bob Zemeckis, man, motherfucker can direct. All right, Mark, what's next for you, buddy?
Here, let's see. What should I do? I watched something. Let me say, I watched something that you recommended, which was that new Looney Tunes movie, and that blew me away with the quality of it. I've never seen Looney Tunes with that high level animation quality, but it also like makes fun of itself.
Yeah.
It looks good. All the jokes land. The villain is cool. The storyline's awesome, and it's like I like that it doesn't feel like a movie. I like that it just feels like you're watching the Looney Tunes as
Yeah.
an episode.
Yes,
Like it
yes.
doesn't go too crazy, which I appreciate. It's like cool. They just kept the spirit of the show, and it's phenomenal. And it's kind of sad if it is the last one, and I hope it's not, but I hope it's I think you said that they're releasing another one, right?
They're going to
As
release
a
Coyote
result.
versus Acme because this one did so well in its limited release. So now that movie is going to get released because the same production or the same distribution company picked it up.
Damn, I'm thank you for that rec because it
Oh yeah,
actually
man.
took me back. It was very nostalgic, but at this, what I liked about it, it's nostalgic, but it doesn't like overdo it. It's not like it's very contemporary, which is cool.
Yeah, it's
It's
cool
like
to see them.
it makes it age really well.
It's cool to see them blasted into the modern day, and it doesn't feel weird. They also don't make a big deal about it, so like, it's just kind of like really sharp modern humor, but with the Looney Tunes, and they kind of those two flavors go together really well. I don't know, man. I loved it. I'm glad you liked it, man. I think actually, my copy of it on Blu-ray, because I was like, once I saw it, I was like, I gotta add this to my shelf. I think it came in today. Like, I think it's waiting for me in my living room, which is pretty exciting.
Dude,
Maybe that's what I'll spin
that's the
this
type
week.
of movie you can rewatch.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. You won't
totally
catch
should.
all those sight gags because I only saw it the one time. So like, I definitely need to rewatch to catch all those background gags and extra sight gags and shit. It's fucking great.
Oh, it feels like it's packed, actually. It's crazy how much they shoved into that.
Yeah, wasn't it also cool to see 2D animation again?
Was it all traditional, by the way?
I mean, they were definitely drawn traditionally. I mean, some of those backgrounds are definitely 3D,
Yeah.
CG backgrounds, but like, I don't know, man, just the general vibe, even the open, like, I think the first 5 minutes all feel like it is all traditional hand-drawn animation. It's just like, you're like, oh, fuck, this looks so good.
Especially with the scenes with the farmers where it actually looks like a matte painting, like a gorgeous matte painting. And the colors
Yes.
are amazing in this movie, too.
Dude, like, you compare
It's
this,
beautiful.
so I love, this is not a wreck, but I love Love, Death, and Robots, right? I've talked about it on the show many times. They finally came out with their fourth season, and I have to tell you, it's massively disappointing. It is easily,
Oh, man.
by and large, the worst season. But it's so crazy to see because this show is all about animation, and it was just so crazy. It was like anime, CG, man, really pushing the limits of what's possible, right? And I swear to you, I was watching this season of Love, Death, and Robots, and every episode I was like, I miss the 2D animation. I miss that time and how good that looked. And it just made me appreciate the day the Earth blew up so much more, especially now, just being inundated with CG, dude. Just really it makes it stand apart.
Well, it actually feels like it's moving art, whereas sometimes CG just feels like, it looks more like a stylized video game intro
Yes.
or like
Or it's too
cutscene.
or it's too
Whereas this
photoreal or
one is
something.
like, yeah, it just this one felt like you want car. I think there's a part of us that because we grew up, it's like you want cartoons, and this is the only way to present them in a good way. And
Yes.
2D animation is like I it would be a shame if they just stopped making 2D animation because it's actually, when you read cartoons and comic books, it's like it actually comes alive. And CG is kind of like as good as the Pixar movies are. There's something about CG where it's never going to age well because the technology is going to keep getting better and better. Whereas this one is so grounded in being like hand drawn and trying to be textural and real that it's going to age so well in comparison. Like some of the Love, Death, and Robots, I tried rewatching some of them and you're like, ugh, that
Yeah.
looks weird now, you
Yeah.
know?
Dude, it's funny you said Pixar because I was like, how crazy would it be if it went the other way? If it was like, okay, you're so used to seeing, I'll make it up, Buzz and Woody and Toy Story in this way. What would a 2D version of that look like? A 2D hand-drawn version of that? How cool would that look, you know? Somebody
I
should
would
get
love to
on
see
that.
that.
That would
If
be a
if it
great
was the
idea.
same people,
Yeah, dude. If
yeah,
fucking
don't let this
if
die.
AI didn't make my skin crawl, I would be like, ChatGPT, could you make 2D cell animated versions of Woody and Buzz Lightyear? I'm going to take your job. Okay. Beep 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 beep.
God damn it.
I'm so glad you liked The Day the Earth Blew Up. I kind of thought you would, but it's nice to hear. I'm glad you liked it.
Well, I'm glad it did well, and I'm glad you recommended it because it felt like people had given up on 2D animation. It
Yeah.
was just like, well, it's over. This is the last one. And I feels like this could breathe life back into that medium, which I goddamn hope it does.
I hope so too. I mean, it's not looking good for the Looney Tunes. Outside of Coyote versus Acme, like you know how like Max, basically Warner Brothers has given up on the Looney Tunes. They no longer have a home there. Max is like fucking purging all their content. You go on the Max app now, you can't find any Looney Tunes shit. It's like 4 shorts. They used to be the hub. Remember when Max started, it would be like, you can go and find every Looney Tune in history ever made in one place. And now it's gone. It's fucking
That is crazy.
sucks.
But
Dude.
I guess I have, after Netflix took over Sesame Street, I sort of have hope. I was like, please, Netflix, buy this.
Oh, that's true. That's a good call. Yeah, I forgot about that. Good for them. Mark, what else you got on your Rex, buddy?
Geez, let's see. Um, I did like Mission. I know you guys probably talked about it, but I really enjoyed that last Mission Impossible,
I
and
liked
I
it. I
totally
liked
would
it
wreck
too.
it.
I liked it too. I think I wrecked it as well. I think I did not like the first hour of the movie. I won't repeat what I said last week because people are like, I already said all this shit.
Yeah.
But just so you know, I didn't like the first hour of the movie because it felt like one big long previously on. We had to keep stopping for
Yeah.
characters to be reminding. It was like, this is fucking exposition impossible is what I was calling it. It's one big long info dump.
Yeah.
But when they got to the
That's a good one.
aircraft
Once it got-
carrier, it was game on. From that point, I was like, this is it. Loved it.
Yeah, stunt work, awesome. Well, I won't go too much into it. And I guess the other thing I saw was, which I'm a huge advocate for, is the movie The Fall, and the 4K
Oh,
transfer
yeah.
is phenomenally good. This is one of the most heartfelt movies, and people, I'm not going to even say anything about it because I don't want to ruin anything because I don't think you've seen it, and I don't think a
I
couple
haven't
of
seen it
people
yet.
we know,
Yeah.
they haven't seen it either. So trust me when I say this is probably one of the okay. You know what everyone's talking about, like film and the greatest film ever made is The Godfather. It's like fuck The Godfather. Have you seen The Fall? This movie's awesome. The Godfather's a piece of shit in comparison. It's like all the characters are lovable. They're likable. The kid actor's really sweet, does an amazing performance, and it's like you're gonna choose a bunch of douchebags that treat each other like shit, and
Wow,
they're just
you like
muscling
really
for
love this
power.
movie. I've heard you talk about this movie before too, like that you genuinely are like, I never knew this movie existed. I've only ever heard Mark. Mark's the only person in my life I know who talks about this movie. I have to see it at some point. Is it available now? Because it wasn't available for the longest time. I'm guessing now that there's a 4K,
I
it's like
think it's
easily
on.
available.
Well, I think one of those streaming services similar, like Tubi, is like Mobi or
Oh,
like you know, they all got
Mubi.
these
Oh,
weird ass names.
Mubi.
Mubi,
Yep.
Boobies. Oops.
Mubish.
They If it wasn't for them though, I don't think there would be this 4K release. And I think it was like, oh shit, who bought? What did I buy? It was Umbrella, I think.
There you go.
They had the 4K. That's where I bought my copy, and you should totally buy it. It's worth it. I'm telling you, this is one of the most heartfelt, beautiful movies. Spectacular performances. You will love every
And it's the
character.
same guy
And
that
the
made
crazy thing is
The Cell, right?
the cell. Yeah.
That's
It-
fucking
it's
crazy.
he needs to get, I hope he comes back to making movies like this because the transitions, everything about this movie is very well. I can't think of a bad frame in this movie. And I can't
Wow.
think of a bad performance in this movie. This is probably, I would say that this is one of the greatest films ever made. And the fact that no one talks
Wow.
about it and it's not on any list pisses me off because all these people that are like, hey, the cinema is dead. I can't think of a good film I've seen since something from the piece of shit 80s. Who gives a crap about 80s old shit, man? Pick something new. Like, challenge yourself to watch something new. What are these dumbasses like, Citizen Kane? Fuck that movie and all these other movies that you see in the top 10 of IMDb. They don't deserve to be there. This movie needs to be in the top 3. I don't give a shit. This is like one of
Wow.
the greatest movies that no one has ever watched. And I will advocate this movie till the day I die. It's that good.
All right, I gotta
I'm
find
not
a
even
way
joking.
to
Everyone
watch
needs to
this.
see this movie. And if
I'm
you don't
not-
see this movie,
I'm
you're
not
not a true
spending-
fan of cinema.
I'm not spending $80 gajillion to buy a 4K of a movie I've never seen, but maybe I can get on Mubi and watch this because I'm so curious, man. The way you talk about this movie. You've been talking about this, by the way. This is not new. People that don't know Mark, I've known this guy for over 2 decades. And since this movie dropped, he's been talking about it. Mark, I remember Mark talking about this shit back in like 2008. He was talking about incessantly. So he's been like a lifelong fan, and it's just so crazy because like you're the one person I know who like knows this movie. Everybody else I talk to has no idea what you're talking about. And you talk about it in this way, man, where it is truly taking a hold of you. I have to see this. I'm very curious about it.
I'm telling you, like, you will love it from the opening sequence. That title is so, the main titles are so beautifully done, and it just like sucks you into this universe. Like, okay, The Godfather, where you're in fucking New Jersey in some shithole New York location, who cares? This one, it's like you're going all over the globe. They're in India, in Nairobi, in beautiful locations. They actually go to these locations, and there's physical sets, and it's incredible.
Wow.
The set design, the costuming. What the hell else can the fact that nobody
the
talks about this
only
movie
place
and
I
it's
can
on
watch
no
this
one's
movie?
list, it's
I'm looking-
insane to me.
I'm looking to see, audience, if there's another place to see this, because wait, hold on. Is Mubi the only place? Here we go. The fall. I'm checking Just Watch. Mubi. Oh, you can rent it on Apple TV Plus. You can rent it on Prime.
Oh, good. Thank
You can
God.
now
I
rent
thought it was
the
gonna be
movie.
do you have to sign up some obscure ass streaming service?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I do not want to sign up for Mubi, because I think I signed up for Mubi to watch. I watched The Substance on Mubi. I was like, I gotta sign up for Mubi, and then I canceled it immediately. I finished The Substance, and I was like, cancel. So I paid nothing. I just used a free trial. So I've already used my Mubi free trial, and I was like, I'm not fucking paying $15 to Mubi to watch this, but I can go and rent it. I can rent it on Apple. I can rent it on Amazon. Dude, it's all over
By the way,
place.
I think this is. I'll tell you, there's 2 ways to watch this, and I'll tell you, if you're a guy and you don't want anyone to see your emotional response because I'm afraid I'm going to cry in front of a movie, watch it by yourself. But I think you should watch it with the producer in the booth. I think you both will enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You will probably cry.
She sees me cry all the
But in a
time.
good way.
I cry about all kinds of shit.
Okay.
I cry in Free Willy. I cry when I don't get
Burrito!
I don't get the breakfast I want. I cry. She's seen me cry once, twice a week. She's like, "Here we go again with this fucking guy."
I will say though, I'm being 100% honest. If you are a dude and you don't want people to see you emote, please watch this movie by yourself, and you'll have an amazing experience.
I think you should just watch the movie and cry in front of people. Fuck the people who can't take your emotions.
There's something about it though, where it is a very like solitary film. I feel if you
Wow.
really want to get
Okay.
the most out of it.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't know.
now that
I
I
don't know
know I
why.
can
It's
rent
just
this
like one
shit,
of these.
I'm gonna rent this now.
But I think you and the producer in the booth will definitely appreciate the art. Or I think she will love the artistry in this film
And
because
it's
if
not a
you're
horror
thinking
movie,
of
right? No.
no, it's not. It's an adventure movie, and it's like
Wow.
one of the most amazing adventures, and it's phenomenal. I cannot stress enough. This is, I think, I'm not even joking. Even myself, I'm like, "Yeah, Blade Runner is the greatest." Fuck, Blade Runner is 1982, and I haven't chosen anything since 82. Like, what does that say about me as a person who watches movies? Like,
Wow.
I should be finding things that are also more contemporary. Granted, this movie is probably it's still really old, but I shouldn't be
2006.
choosing my best movie as like so far away. As much as I love Ridley Scott, I'm telling you, people are always making fun of new movies and saying that hey, new movies have nothing to offer. They're not artistic. They're boring, and it's like they don't go anywhere. And it's just like it's just another sequel. And it's like, and also other people are like, this the Avengers is the greatest movie. You go fuck yourself because this movie is the greatest movie and not some piece of shit cartoon movie that's made entirely on a green screen and CG. Like, see some real shit. Go to some real locations.
Go to some
You know?
shit. I like that advice, man.
See some costume design that is out of this world and totally different. Movies are about seeing things that you can't see in the real world, and this movie takes full advantage of that. It is crazy how good this movie is.
Damn.
Sorry, I'm ranting.
That was a
but I
mic
really
drop.
love this
Damn,
movie.
if I've ever heard one. There you go, The Fall, and you can watch it. You can rent it. You don't have to sign up for Mubi, people. If you're like me and you burned your Mubi to watch The Substance, your Mubi free trial, you don't have to go back and pay them $15.
You're no longer invited back to a movie.
I'm not invited back to Mubi. They're going to charge me $15 for showing up. Is it like, hey, did you enjoy The Substance, fucko? Give us your $15. Now you can watch whatever you want.
They make you put a credit card in before you can go.
Yeah. Your fucking bank gets hit right away. All I did was look. I just looked. I looked it up. Mark, any other recs, or is that it for you, buddy? I mean, that's
I'm
a
gonna
great
end it
note
there
to end
because
on. Yeah.
this is an amazing movie. I can't recommend anything better than that movie, to be completely honest, except for the Brothers Grimsby and The Professional. I'm just kidding.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
I am this is the last thing I would say. I'm 100% serious about everything I said about The Fall. It is an amazing movie and one of the best experiences you ever will have. And if you are a cinemaphile and you didn't see this in the theater, your card should be revoked.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
I'm going to turn my card in. I'm going to turn my card in, I guess. Sorry, everybody. Show over. There you go, The Fall. All right, Mark, next week, we're going to reveal now to the people at home what we're watching. We will be watching Joe Dante's Piranha from 1978, and we're going to have some very special guests joining us. I'm just going to do it right now. We're going to have Dasein and his brother, John Say, at the same time. It's going to be massive. We've never done this before. We're going to have both the Say brothers on at once. So you're going to want to be here. Go watch Joe Dante's Piranha. And we'll see you guys next time for JAWS Knockoff June. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace!